Yan Li Ben and Wu Daozi were two of the leading artists of the Tang dynasty. In landscapes, portraits, and murals, they and their contemporaries captured the spirit of the Tang dynasty. But what can their works tell us about the people and history of over 1,000 years ago? Find out in Painting of Prosperous Tang in the series From Chang'an to Xi'an. In the spring of 641, a significant event in the history of Han-Tibetan friendship took place in Chang'an. An envoy arrived, sent by the Tibetan king Songstan Gampo. He was there to seek, on behalf of his master, the hand in marriage of a Tang princess. Emperor Taizong met the envoy in his palace in Chang'an. He agreed that Princess Wencheng should marry Songstan Gampo. The event was recorded by the court painter Yan Li Ben in a work called Emperor Taizong Receiving the Tibetan Envoy. The emperor is on the right of the picture, sitting in a sedan carried by maids of honor. The genius of the work lies in how Yan Li Ben managed so skillfully to convey the status of the various figures, their dispositions and manners, and the relationships among them.
唐太宗的形象是整幅画面的焦点。作者煞费苦心的加以生动细致的刻画，画中的这个唐太宗面目俊朗，目光深邃，神情庄重，充分的展露出盛唐时期那个皇帝的风范和威仪。画家阎立本当时身居高位，是太宗身边的近臣，他的写真能力那是登峰造极，所以我们可以相信步辇图当中的这个唐太宗一定和历史上真实的太宗是非常接近的。
As Emperor Taizong receiving the Tibetan envoy suggests, the emperor was a talented ruler with bold vision. During his reign, the Tang dynasty achieved not only rapid economic development, but also fast cultural progress. If poetry, calligraphy, and painting are assumed to represent culture, the Tang dynasty was undoubtedly at the forefront of historical progress. In famous paintings in Chinese history, the Tang artist Zhang Yanyuan wrote, "The great Tang dynasty is 230 years old. It has produced many artists, more in the Kaiyuan era than any other period of the Tang dynasty." Famous painters and thousands of other ordinary ones worked in the city of Chang'an. Of the many artists who came to the fore, over 200 found their way into the annals of history. One of them was Wu Daozi, later known as the painting sage.
吴道子这个人是个河南人，河南禹县人。 他最早的时候啊，他不是学画，他是学字、学书法的，跟着张系、贺知章学习书法。但是他可能在这方面没有什么天赋，学了很久没有多大起色，改行了，学画。他在画上的天才啊，那真是非一般人可比，可以说就是绘画天才。20岁左右的时候就有了个外号叫无魔手，最后被称为画圣。唐玄宗发现了他之后，给他招入宫廷啊，做了官儿啊。这个早年作画，他的画出来的画啊，是流丽纤细啊，继承了六朝的风范。到中年时候，开始放开了，笔迹磊落啊，有气势。
Wu Daozi was a true artistic all-arounder, with an ability to paint anything. But his specialties were portraits and Buddhist and Taoist images. He is said to have painted more than 300 murals for Buddhist and Taoist temples, with no two ever being the same. The famous Scroll of 87 Taoist Celestials is one of his works that have survived until today. The painting, done on silk, is one of the most important treasures from ancient China. It also represents the height of Tang Dynasty painting.
画面笔墨遒劲洒脱，每一根线条都表现了无限的生命力。优美的造型，生动的体态，将天王神将的气派表现得淋漓尽致。冉冉欲动的白云，飘飘欲飞的仙子，加上亭台曲桥、流水行云等等的点缀，画面优美，宛若仙境。赏画间似有仙乐在你的耳畔飘荡。整幅作品具有天衣飞扬、满壁飞动的艺术感染力。
Like many other Chinese art treasures, over the centuries, this famous painting has changed hands many times. One of its owners was the great early 20th century artist Xu Beihong.
那是1937年，大画家徐悲鸿先生在香港举办画展，偶然在一个德国驻华外交官亲属手中看见了这个东西，他如获至宝，几乎是连借带赊的筹钱把画买下来了，从此就是朝夕不离左右，还打上了一枚印章，叫悲鸿生命，就是说把这个东西啊视为自己的明心绝品。1942年，这个画在一次日军的空袭中不翼而飞，就是说丢了。结果没想到，时隔2年之后，徐悲鸿又知道这个画卷在成都的某个人手里，他便立即通过朋友再一次用高价把这个东西又买了回来。
Yan Li Ben and Wu Daozi were two of the leading artists of the Tang Dynasty. In landscapes, portraits, and murals, they and their contemporaries captured the spirit of the Tang Dynasty. But what can their works tell us about the people and history of over 1,000 years ago? Find out in Painting of Prosperous Tang in the series From Chang'an to Xi'an. Wu Daozi mostly painted portraits and Buddhas. Yet he was also a master of landscape painting. He worked quickly, and by being bold and borrowing from foreign techniques and styles, he revolutionized traditional Chinese painting. His use of lines that were more tense and dynamic transformed the dull monotony of traditional Chinese landscape painting to make it more richly layered and vivid.
有这么一个传说啊，说有一次唐玄宗让吴道子画这个嘉陵江的山川景色，还让他去实地采风。当吴道子回到长安以后，唐玄宗问起情况了，他说没有画稿，都记在心里了。唐玄宗呢就让他立即作画，结果是嘉陵江是300里的壮丽风光，竟然在1天之内他就给画完了。当时大画家有一个大画家叫李思训，也是擅长画山水的。在那个同时，他也作画，结果画了几个月才完工。唐玄宗就说啊，李思训数月之功，吴道玄1日之计，皆极其妙也。啊，吴道玄是吴道子的这个另一个名字啊，可见吴道子的绘画功力是非常深厚的。
The key to Wu Daozi's success was innovation. His bold approach made his paintings models for other artists to follow. His paintings captured the spirit of the Tang dynasty and represented the height of the painting art of the time. Painting was more than just the creative activity of an individual. It created a national spirit. It is perhaps the paintings of maids of honor that, more vividly and incisively than any others, capture the essence of the Tang dynasty. Chang'an in the 3rd lunar month is barely warm. Yet the ladies of the city's rich families can no longer wait to have an outing. So they visit the Chujiang River to take in the early spring scenery. They probably don't realize that they themselves, with their fair skin and gentle form, are part of the beauty of their city. Their embroidered silk robes gleam in the spring sunshine. A famous line from poetry, "Many beauties take the air at the Chang'an waterfront," is reflected in the Tang paintings. The painting Lady Guoguo on a Spring Outing was produced by the famous Tang artist Zhang Xuan. Lady Guoguo was a sister of Emperor Xuanzong's favorite concubine, Yang Yuhuan. The painting depicts her and her family enjoying an outing, accompanied by their servants. The individual figures in the painting are depicted with even, fine, and flexible lines.
这幅画好在它的这个构图啊，疏密有度，错落自然，人和马的动势舒缓而从容，完全是呼应并突出了春游的这个主题，真实的再现了唐代上层社会妇女闲散享乐的生活。这幅画题为春游，但是没有表现背景环境，只是简单的以湿笔点出了斑斑的草色啊，是为了有力的突出人物的神态，启发观者的联想。画面格调活泼明快，洋溢着乐观自信的气息，让我们从画面中很容易就能感受到鸟语花香的春天的气息。
Unlike the slim women depicted in the earlier paintings of the Wei and Jin dynasties, the Tang women are plump. They also exude a sense of optimism.
魏晋时期的仕女画，也就是早期仕女画的。这里它这个里边的仕女的形象，一般的都是源自诗赋等文学作品和民间传说，描绘的一般的是古代的贤惠的妇女或神话当中的仙女。画家们大多在表现这些远离现实生活、带有理想色彩的女性，画的这个形象也都是瘦骨清相这样的形象。到了这个唐初，我们从步辇图等一些作品当中，我们看到的这个仕女还是娇小玲珑的，完全没有风韵的身影。
By the golden years of the Tang dynasty, the women depicted in paintings had faces like a full moon, with rounded waists and part of their bodies exposed. Although plump, they are elegant, self-confident, and contented. In other words, they embody the spirit of a new era. Earlier in Chinese history, women were admired for their reticence and restraint. In the Tang dynasty, by contrast, they were liked if they were plump, enthusiastic, and healthy. Tang society's standards of beauty exerted a great influence on its paintings of women.
唐代的女性开始追求以胖为美这就使绘画作品当中的女性多为这个面圆肉多，形态丰满我们历史上称为叫曲眉丰颊脸呢很丰满这个之所以这样，是因为当时整个社会已经改变跟初唐时期不一样。初唐时期呢，主要是这个我们叫贵族门阀士族门阀，他们统领这个社会。到了盛唐时期，经济繁荣了，这个庶族寒门也开始发展起来了，他们也有钱了，他们的审美观念这个代表了一种新的时尚这样的审美其实是一种什么呢？充满了生命力的健康美，对这种美的崇尚。
Women at the time enjoyed more freedom than they'd ever known before. This was especially true during the reign of Empress Wu Zetian. She acted boldly to strengthen her grip on power domestically and expand her empire's territory. Under her rule, the social status of women rose significantly.
武则天当政的时代呢，女性的政治地位得到了极大提高。皇帝就不用说了，一些贵族这个出身的女官经常是参政议政、发号施令，扮演着非常重要的角色。在这个日常事务中呢，像骑马射箭琴棋书画，它也不分男女。婚姻上，女性呢也是相当的自由自主，比如离婚再婚是相当普遍的。贵族妇女养尊处优，显示出了那种荣华贵的这种形体之美。
It was also the noble women who were the leaders of fashion throughout Chang'an. Contemporary descriptions of the Tang capital depict the streets being full of beautiful women on fine spring days during the reign of Empress Wu Zetian. At festivals, women put on makeup, dressed in their finest, and went out. The paintings from the Tang dynasty reveal how natural and graceful the women were. Yan Li Ben and Wu Daozi were two of the leading artists of the Tang dynasty. In landscapes, portraits, and murals, they and their contemporaries captured the spirit of the Tang dynasty. But what can their works tell us about the people and history of over 1,000 years ago? Find out in Painting of Prosperous Tang in the series From Chang'an to Xi'an. Many Tang Dynasty artifacts are currently on display at the Shanxi Museum of History. Among them are a number of tomb murals, providing vivid depictions of the life of Tang people, including some fascinating details. Mural painting reached unprecedented heights in the Tang Dynasty. Most of the buildings in Chang'an were decorated with murals, many of them produced by some of the most famous painters of the days. Working with other artists, they created murals for palaces, Buddhist and Taoist temples, and private residences. Historical records tell us that Jianfu Temple, Xingshan Temple, Tang'an Temple, and other Buddhist and Taoist temples all contain murals by famous painters. However, time and incessant warfare led to the disappearance of these art treasures. However, some murals have survived because they were buried underground. These are tomb murals. Although they are not as good as the imperial court murals or the murals by famous painters such as Yan Li Ben and Wu Daozi, these thousand-year-old works are a priceless source of information in studying the development of murals through different periods of the Tang Dynasty. The murals in the tomb of Crown Prince Zhang Huai are regarded as the finest known example of Tang Dynasty tomb murals.
张怀太子李贤啊，是高宗和武则天的第二个儿子。新旧唐书呢，都说他是聪明伶俐，读书那更不得了，是过目成诵。所以呢，高宗是非常的宠爱他。在这个太子李弘被废以后呢，高宗很快就提拔这个李贤呢当了太子，并呢辅以这个良臣，用良臣的辅弼他。但很可惜呢，正是这封特别的爱呢，就断送了李贤的性命。因为啊，当时武则天是野心勃勃，谁也挡他的道，谁就没好下场。所以李贤呢，就被武则天啊贬到了巴州，过着野人一般的生活。随后呢，就被迫自缢。公元684年，32岁的李贤呀，被葬在穷乡僻壤。直到这个李贤的弟弟中宗即位以后，他才以这个雍王的这个身份陪葬乾陵，被追封为张怀太子。
The death of Li Xian at such a young age showed that life at the imperial court was not always as happy as ordinary people believed it to be. Emperor Zhongzong ordered a mural to be painted about Li Xian. Perhaps he hoped that a depiction of part of Li Xian's life would comfort his soul. The mural that was created was vast, extending from the tomb passage to the coffin chamber. Part of the mural depicts hunting. It's 1.4 meters high and 12 meters long. It offers a vivid depiction of galloping horses, fluttering banners, riders on horseback, and their servants 1,000 years ago. Charismatic, dignified emperors, beautiful enthusiastic noblewomen, and bold and self-confident writers. These were the people of the Tang dynasty, as they are depicted in the art from the time. Although Li Xian's life was short, the mural associated with him will live forever, as will numerous other works of art inspired by the spirit of the Tang dynasty. The fu, or rhapsody, in poetry prose form, like many other arts, flourished during the golden age of the Tang dynasty. It was an era that produced some of the most celebrated Chinese poets. But how would the fortunes of the Tang dynasty influence the work of two of the greatest among them? Find out in Rhapsodies and Poems of Prosperous Tang in our series From Chang'an to Xi'an.